This is the Headspeed MP 2026. This is the Headspeed Legend MP released 2025. Are they the same? Question mark. I'll come back to that shortly. This is the Headspeed Tour, the 97 square inch new version. I wasn't planning on making a video about this frame, the MP 2026, because I've made quite a comprehensive review on the Legend, and after all, when you hit them side by side, you can confirm that they are, of course, the same frame with different paint jobs. Some people will say that paint affects how a racket plays. I'm on the fence with that. I do actually think that I can sense differences in other frames when I hit them side by side when there's different paint jobs. But in this case, the MP 2026 and the Legend 2025, I felt played pretty much exactly the same. There is one key difference that I'm finding through my stringing work with the MP 2026 and the Legend, which I'll discuss later. Now, Head have always positioned the Speed MP as sitting here, somewhere in the middle, offering you a bit of everything, perhaps with a little edge towards control, but ultimately offering some power, some spin, some comfort. I described the Legend as offering above average spin, power, and stability, and also comfort, but perhaps not offering above average levels of control. The MP, after all, does have a 16x19 pattern, which has a spin orientated design to that pattern, and it is quite a powerful frame. So I think the Speed MP is a frame that has moved a little bit away from control over the last iterations. I wanted to make this video because I found myself training with the Speed MP quite a lot. Some of you might know that my racket of choice currently is the Yonex Percept 100, the one with the 16x19 pattern and the same listed specs as the Headspeed MP. So this frame sort of is quite familiar in terms of specifications. But I think the Speed MP is a bit misunderstood and is developing. Of course, in some respects, down to this guy, Yannick. But of course, Yannick uses a Pro Stock, a previous edition of the Speed. This is a Pro Stock version that my friend owns and I've hit with quite a lot. This was used by an ex-pro and is the same mold and frame as Yannick's. Has that shared strings at the bottom, which is a bit of a giveaway. As you can see, this one doesn't have a MP or Pro listing. In retail form, this would have been what it looked like. It is one of the previous editions of the Speed. And there's a couple of things about this Speed that makes it different to the Speed that you would buy retail today, most notably the 22mm beam. But I always felt that the magic in this frame was the 22mm beam makes it a bit faster through the air compared to the current Speed MP and a couple of the more recent Speed MPs. But there's something about the more direct feel within it that maintains a lot of power output. And I don't know whether the Pro Stock versions do have something different in the layup. My friend who owns it and me both feel that it possibly does, because it does feel quite special. Now, of course, other iterations of the Speed MP have been famously brought to market by other pros. Yes, Coco does use a Speed and not the boom that she endorses. And I think that Head are quite aware of this. And with the Speed MP, they're aware that they have a market leading frame, but a frame that people can switch to and pros can get more power from. So they're sort of continuing the journey of making it accessible to the retail customer. Hence the 23mm thicker beam to add a little bit more power and loads of technology to make sure that there's comfort. But since the 2022 edition, I've noticed that Speed MPs have been creeping up in swing weight. Look at the swing weight on mine that I have for demo here and that I've been training with. It's right up at 337 in the swing weight. And this could be purely coincidental, but I have noticed both from my demo frames and the ones that I own personally, as well as through stringing, that in the main I'm finding the Legends are a lower swing weight to the regular MP 2026. I'm getting Legends regularly at 318 to 325 swing weight, and I'm getting MPs that are never coming in under 330 in swing weight. Is that a paint thing? Is that a quality control thing? And the other thing that I'm noticing is that the speed MPs that I'm getting are typically a little bit overweight. I've had them up at 303, 304, even one at 307, unstruck against the target 300, which is a little bit disappointing. However, I have been training really effectively with this speed MP, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Draw a lot of players today, whether they be amateur, competitive, or indeed higher level, are searching for frames that can offer them a little bit more power. And comparing it to other headlines, it's not far off the extreme MP when it comes to power. It's certainly packing a punch that's more than the Boom Pro in terms of power. And of course, some of that is down to the cocktail of technologies that you find in the Speed MP now. And I think, as per my Legend video, that the cocktail of technologies that you find in head frames in these speeds is actually quite a magic mix. The auxetic brought a lot of stability. The high bore now brings bags of energy return. You do feel that there is much more power through the frame, and I actually really enjoy the feel of this Speed MP. One thing that I always felt was lacking since the 2022 edition of the Speed was a bit of power on serve. And I don't know what it is, but there's something about the 2026 Speed MP which seems to have solved that for me. I can now generate on first serve, and also can generate a lot of kick on second serve, which has been lacking for me in speeds previously. And I think that is probably down to the high ball. I talked a little bit in my Legend review about that material seeming to offer just that little bit of extra resistance to the ball, allowing the strings to really snap back a little bit more. And I think the high swing weight on mine is meaning that if I am playing well and I'm fresh, I can really play at quite a high level with aggressive accuracy with this frame. So why did I want to make this video? It's possibly switchable for me. I've been hitting the tour a lot, and a review will come out on that next week. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. I've got a lot to say about that. It's obviously a new frame, but I thought it was worth helping to sort of ram home that for me, the category of the Speed MP 2026 is actually really sitting at advanced levels. A 337 swing weight is high, and I think a 330 swing weight for amateur players is pretty high. So sort of long gone are the days where the Speed MP is a frame that could be suited to intermediate amateurs who are developing. They want to be looking at the lighter versions of the Speed if that is something of your playing profile. In terms of power and spin as well, I wanted to almost sort of reiterate that I think that the Speed MP continues to evolve to having even more power and even more spin. And it suits me because I've come from the percept to control that open pattern and the power and the spin that it gives me. But I think some will find it to be a little bit too powerful to control if they're coming from control orientated 98s. So it's soon to be seen whether I can maintain my swing speed with the Speed MP, this 337 swing weight. If I can, it will be a switchable frame for me. It surprised me. It will probably take me away from my percept 100 if I can maintain the swing weight through 3-set matches. So far, training sessions that I've had have only been an hour, 2 hours long, but I have been playing more effectively with the Speed MP compared to my percept. So that's a big surprise. I wasn't expecting to come close to making a switch at all this year, but I probably will with this Speed MP. Please subscribe to the channel for upcoming videos on the Speed Tour, the Yonex VCore 100, and a few other exciting frames. I've got some cool Ultras, the 98 Kei Nishikori frame that I'm hitting with at the moment. I've also managed to get hold of that Ultra 95 Pro, the Kaiman Zen version. So some interesting, slightly different reviews coming up, and obviously there's loads of racket releases this year. So would really appreciate subscribes and likes so that I can do some more of these for you guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.